We have a massive update on AEW star going to WWE. All the details in that story coming up in just a little bit. Also, Roman Reigns, he reveals his contract status with WWE, and it looks like he is set to retire. And yes, we got to talk about this massive interview that Triple H did. He is firing back at fans, and quite frankly, I think it's a major, major L. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to kick things off with Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is now publicly talking a lot. He spoke about politics, which I thought was really odd. Roman Reigns is a registered Democrat, and he pretty much made it clear that he voted for Trump, and that's catching a lot of steam, and that's in the headlines everywhere. And Roman Reigns is one that's kind of quiet, but in this new profile that was published by Vanity, he also confirmed that his contract is set to expire following WrestleMania 42 in 2026. He also noted that once his deal expires, he will be shifting to a less physical form of entertainment, which basically tells me Roman Reigns is going Hollywood. And I have no problem with Roman Reigns doing that. I really don't care about his politics or his views. I don't really care about anybody's politics or views. I don't think that stuff really matters to me. I don't know why it's even being talked about. But Roman Reigns did actually have one positive thing that came from this interview, which was he was talking about the Janel Grant lawsuit. And if you guys check it out, you'll see that he had some very good things to say about that because he spoke about the Vince McMahon allegations. And he said that the allegations from Grant are a stain on WWE, and she's got to live with all of these situations that happen, and hopefully she's in a place where she feels comfortable and she's secure in her own place. He says it's embarrassing, and that's the stuff that you don't want to hear about. You don't want your family to hear about. He did say that Vince McMahon reached out last year to wish him a happy birthday, but basically Vince McMahon has completely removed himself from everything WWE related. So if you really break down what he was talking about with this whole thing with Vanity, his politics I don't care about. His statement on Janel Grant was good, but the reality is Roman Reigns is not going to be doing this much longer. And WrestleMania 42, it's got to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock. If we don't get that match, before Roman Reigns retires, that will be a very, very big letdown. I don't know if it's on the same scale as Sting and Undertaker, but I do know it's a very, very big match that should take place, and they've teased it for like 10 years. So if they really don't do it, I'm going to be disappointed. I do think that will be the plan. I've kind of outlined this in live streams and stuff like that, but just a very, very interesting thing from Roman, and he's making it pretty clear he's going to go do some other stuff. And obviously, if you're acting in Hollywood, you don't have to do all this physical stuff. And Roman Reigns is pretty much a made man, so it makes sense. That brings us to our next topic. Triple H in a new interview with Peter Rosenberg, he's firing back at fans. Quite frankly, I feel like this is a huge L for Triple H. As much as I am a fan of WWE and the things that they're doing creatively, I think Triple H is really not. I think this interview really was dumb. So basically, he says that this will sound offensive to every critic out there. I wish I could tell people off for being a critic. Be a fan. Go watch this and be a fan. If I tell you to go to the movies and watch this movie and I saw it and I thought it was really good, then just go to the movies as a fan. You watch the movie, you have one opinion. If I tell you, hey, go see this movie, but can you give me a one-page detail like the things you liked, what you didn't like, if it worked, if it didn't work, you watch it totally different, right? You watch the product totally different, and it ruins it for people. The world was so much better when nobody knew. Now, I take a little bit of offense to this because my personal belief is that every single individual on this earth is a critic to some degree. I don't think this is like some crazy idea, but if you're a consumer and you're paying money to watch something and you want to voice your opinion on what you watched, I think that is fair. And I know I've seen some responses on Twitter about, well, not everybody is credentialed or biased or this and that. It doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. What really matters is you put out a product and fans talk about it. And if fans like it, they will continue paying to watch it. And if they don't like it, what ends up happening is they no longer are interested. I do think social media, a lot of people look at social media as a bad thing, by the way, but I look at social media as a great thing. There are so many shows, so many movies, so many different things I have tuned into because of other people who are fans of that stuff have put it on display. I know people in my personal life who don't watch wrestling, but started to watch wrestling because of their relationships with me. It's not for everybody, but it doesn't matter. Every single person is a critic. Every single person is a billboard. I say these things all the time. You buy a New York Yankees hat. What am I doing? I am advertising the New York Yankees. Now, I don't live in New York and I don't like the New York Yankees, but I like their logo and I sure as hell like wearing their hats and I sure as hell like visiting New York. So for me, I'm a billboard, right? If you see me with WWE merchandise, that is free advertising for WWE. You know how I'm going to continue buying WWE merchandise? By being a fan of WWE. What makes me a fan of the WWE? What makes me a fan of AEW? What makes me a fan of professional wrestling? The fact that it's something I grew up watching, and now it's a job where I get to talk about it. It's really not that big of a deal, to be honest. I just thought it was kind of silly that Triple H was saying, go be a fan. This is part of the fandom. We have built an awesome community on this channel because we're all fans of professional wrestling. We're going to like certain matches. We're going to like certain storylines. We're not going to like certain matches, and we're not going to like certain storylines. But guess what? We're going to talk about it because that's what brings us together. I think that's all that needed to be said. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. Massive update on Mariah May coming to the WWE. This is very, very interesting because one of two things is going to happen. Mariah May is going to re-sign with AEW, and all of this talk is essentially just to make it look like WWE lost the bidding war, or it's really true that Mariah May is going to WWE. Now, this is what you guys need to know. Dave Meltzer. And I know we're all kind of weird about Dave Meltzer's reporting these days. I'm not stupid. I read your guys' comments. But Dave Meltzer has a lot higher accuracy for AEW news than anything else. And he says, apparently, Mariah May made it very clear at the time that she was not signing a new deal with AEW, so they booked the trilogy match for that reason. So that is in regards to Toni Storm versus Mariah May at AEW Revolution. At that point in time, it was made clear to AEW that she is not staying with the company, and that's why AEW did it. Now, Dave continues to talk about this and stuff like that, and obviously we don't have to talk about all those other details, but her deal is apparently up in November. So it looks like from now until then, Mariah May is not going to be used on AEW television. The real question is, will Mariah May be in a situation where maybe AEW just lets her out early? I don't know. Watching last night's AEW Dynamite episode, I thought it was a very, very, very good episode. I thought it was maybe even one of their best Dynamites ever. I would like to see AEW in a position where if talent don't want to be there, continue. Just let them go. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about WWE. Who gives a shit about what WWE is doing? Literally do what you do best. If you do what you do best and you put out a good product, you're going to be successful. Don't pay attention to WWE. Who cares about what WWE is doing? If your talent don't want to be there, that's fine. You got a really, really good storyline out of Toni Storm and Mariah May. It was very wonderful to watch. You don't have plans for her. She doesn't want to be there. Not a problem. Move on from it, and I think you will be very good. Keep doing what you did last night, and your product is going to get hot again. If you can't do that, then that's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe. Don't forget, new videos every single day, plus the Ango Show live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern.